and all three-wheelers around the world. Well, we got some show for you tonight. Wow. Okay. Yeah, we got a good one, boys. Hit it. Three-wheeling around the world.
2 minutes start line.
We're all ready to go. By the sport, for the sport.
I don't want to do anything else but race the TT Cross.
Are we about to witness TT history being made again?
If you're really, really keen and you want to get involved in promotion of our great sport, then become an ambassador. Take photos and post them on our fan page.
Two wheels are good, three wheelers better.
Oh, we're back now. Okay. Yeah, and to my right, I have Craig Lambert. He's the driver. And right next to him, we have a guy over there, right? There's Andrew Haynes, and known as the racing preacher, right? Right, Andy, right? Yeah. So, there's a lot to talk about tonight. We got some history here. Started with Greg. Yeah. What would you say, Greg? Greg, 30 years at the TT, right?
Yeah, coming up this year, be 31 this year.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's where's that gone?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's like it, and I think we can't go through all of these accolades that you have out here, Greg. But there's Can everybody see that? You got a few winnings in there, huh, Greg?
Yeah, that's just from 2022 season. We won 4 championships this year and second in 2 others, and on the podium at the Isle of Man Southern 100 and TT results. So I've just brought along to show how dedicated I am to the sport, and I've been in it a long time and still capable of producing what's on the table today in one season, and Andy's been a massive part of that halfway through the year. And it's just been, it's just dedication, and that's proof of what you can still do, even though you've been at the sport a few years. It's all down to hard work and preparation and dedication.
Well, that's great. Yeah. Oh, so that's it. That's just you could fill the room up, I would imagine, after 30 years, if we could bring in a truck and bring it all in, huh, Greg?
Yeah, I've got a house and a garage and a few more sheds full. We've won a lot over the years, and hopefully we're going to be having that all on show in April of this year to promote the sidecar sport, and to promote myself, obviously, for the TT in May, June of this year as a big fundraiser. So, there's an awful lot, and you don't realise in 30 years just on how much there is. It's been my life. It's been part of my father's life and my life, and it's been a great journey, and I'm just hoping that maybe this year we can get right back at the top of the TT, which is the world's greatest race, and there's no better feeling. I've been on the podium a few times at the TT in the 30 years, and it's an amazing place, and it's an amazing feeling, and it's for all the hard work. There's no better reward than standing on the top step of the Isle of Man, for sure.
Wow. Yeah, that's something else. Yeah. Well, we have to get Andy a little bit involved here now, because he's going along for the ride here now, huh, Andy? Yeah, and go ahead. You guys tell how long you've been together now, you two.
Well, we met in May of this year for I raced a classic bike down to the pre-TT at the Southern 100 there, a Hillman Imp engine, 1970s, and I needed a passenger for it because I've always supported the club, and it's been a big thing for my father and myself that we've done for years, and kindly Andy offered to help us because I was so dedicated to the TT. I don't race the classic that much, and unfortunately we broke down, but we had a great event ourselves, and we qualified okay, and just Andy said, I've enjoyed myself so much, and I enjoyed his company, and he's a smashing fella, and he is the racing preacher, and it's been great for me, and it's just, we've gelled together fantastic. And then we were watching the race when we broke down, gearbox locked up, and we were just enjoying ourselves, supporting everybody else going by. And then Andy mentioned that he would love to possibly do the TT with me, and the Southern 100, and best connection I've had for a lot of years. And we went to the Southern 100 and put it straight on the podium straight away, and it was just, we had that instant connection. I've had some fantastic passengers over the years, you know, ladies and guys, and they've all been great, and they've all been part of my journey. You know, some have been very special to me. And it's just been, we've got this connection, and we've brought it on from what you see here today to go into the TT this year, and we can't wait for the TT. I've got so much confidence with Andy. He just oozes the confidence to me. We've come here this weekend to get a few laps in and discuss the TT, and come to a TT dinner tonight. And it's just a bonding thing. We've come to see sponsors, to say thank you for helping us last year and taking them a gift and bits and pieces. Just to have that connection with these people that are here to support the sidecars and ourselves for competing. In these times, it's very difficult for anyone to help support a motorsport team, whatever it may be, around the world, you know. And this is where Andy comes in with his connection with me, and I'm just hoping that I can do justice for Andy, and to hopefully show him and give him hopefully his fastest ever lap around the Isle of Man. And it would be so sweet. It'd be like a swan song if he can do that, make my fastest lap ever around the Isle of Man. And if we can get the finish, and let's hope we can be really at the top of the TT, and it would be just a swan song. It would be fantastic. Yeah, it would really make my year for a quality TT race for sure.
Well, that's great. Yeah, and it's like, like I was saying, looking at Andy, you're in for some ride here, huh, Andy? What do you think? You think you're all up for this? Obviously, but I tell you one thing is what you were just saying, Greg, about you guys teaming up. You know, I could see that. You know, at TT, at the Southern, right? I could see that. You know, I can see it. That's you guys really got it together here.
It was special.
You just feel like you got a good you work well together. A friendship, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
A good friendship you got.
We've bonded as a good friendship. I'm hoping, and it's just going to get stronger and stronger. And you meet some people in your life through all the racing and things, and it just, the connection was there. And I think Andy's got the same sort of feeling. It happened. It was instant, and it was just been great ever since. And obviously, it's produced all these at the end of the season, because the passenger is a crucial major part to what the sport is with a sidecar. It's two people. It's not one. You could have a fast driver, and you've got to become one. And if you've got the friendship, the trust, the partnership together. There's a lot of teams out there, husband and wife, girlfriends and things. I've done it all myself, and it's a special bond. It is to me. It is a special bond. You become friends on the bike and off the bike. You trust each other impeccably. The Isle of Man TT and the Southern 100 road races, any road races, you've got to have that trust and bond as two people, because of the nature of the sport that we do.
Yeah, well, it is like, I'm glad you say that. You know what? Because we got an extra special sport here, isn't it? It's totally unique, and there you did a perfect description. And when I'm saying that is, we got three wheels, of course, but a lot more over than that is the input the passenger has, right?
Oh, it's,
It's like a bond. It's like you're like one unit, isn't it?
Absolutely.
When you're in the flow.
Yeah, it's crucial. I mean, we're on a bespoke machinery. They're purposely built for racing. They're not a production-based machine. The engines are to start with, but the actual sidecar itself is purposely built for racing. It's a thoroughbred machine. I manufacture them myself. For many years, I've built sidecars, and they are bespoke. And the passenger is like a bespoke to it as well, because it's okay, I'm driving it and throwing it around and everything else and trying to control it. But that's the difference between someone who wants to do really well as a passenger. They help the machine to steer, understeer, go around a corner, float round a corner with a chair in the air, and the passenger is an integral part of a sidecar without a shadow of a doubt. And when you get the two together and have a major combination together that works so well with a fast machine, it's just, one, it's electric, it's fantastic, and it's just poetry in motion around the TT when that comes together on the day. And that's what I'm hoping with Andy this year. You know, he's not done many TTs. I think 2018 was his first, so he hasn't done many at all, which I haven't got a problem with, because I've got so much faith in him. And he's proved that to me the first time we ever rode on one of the hardest road races in the world, the Southern 100. And it wasn't luck, it was hard work. We rode so well. And he brought me back to life. And he proved to me that he could do it. And it was an instant reaction from me that I'd like you to race with me at the TT races, to make this thing happen, where I know I'm capable of more. I've got the machinery. The final part of that would be the passenger to make this come together, and I feel I've got that with Andy. And like I said before, that the trust and the faith in him, I have it, and he's a major integral part of it. And I just hope that I can produce the goods at the end of the day, or we can produce the goods at the end of the day, to make it all worthwhile, you know, for the whole thing of the TT period this year. You know, it's a festival, and there's nothing like it in the world. We had guests from America this year in 2022 talking, and they all said the Isle of Man TT is amazing. There's nothing in America like it. We've never seen anything like it. And we gave them the time to look at the bike and talk about the TT races, and they were just enthralled with it, you know. Hence, we now have a few American sponsors that have come on board, and there's more and more coming every year from the USA and from all around the world. It's just, the TT is special. There's nowhere like it. There's nothing like it. And it's looking good for the future. We've had a meeting with the organisers yesterday, and the future's good for the TT. It's strong. And for the sidecars, they want them there, and they've always wanted them there. This year, it's the 100 years of sidecars at the TT this year, and that's a special thing in itself. And I just hope they make it, you know, the spectacle it should be, you know, for all the people that have taken part, the people that have lost their lives there. The 100 year is a special year for sidecars in the Isle of Man, for many, many people and many, many families. And hopefully it'll be well supported, and it'll be shown throughout the world with yourself, who's doing an absolute amazing job. The three-wheeling has put sidecars around the world like it's never been before. And it's truly spectacular and truly amazing. And when the big companies come in on board to it, then hopefully one day, at this moment in time, we're not professionals, we don't make livings from it, but it should be. Like every other sport in the world, we are actually paying to entertain the public throughout the world, and we get nothing for it. And it's for the love of the sport that we do it, and it is one of the most spectacle sports in the world. When everybody sees it, Formula One people come to the Isle of Man, and it's like nothing like it. They just can't believe the speeds. You know, there's nothing around you, 2.5 inches off the ground, 160 miles an hour plus, and there's no seat belts, there's no roll cage. It's just a one-off, thorough road racing machine, and you're in the elements. And standing on the start line at the TT every year, I feel blessed and fortunate that I'm stood here waiting to go down Braille, and every person will feel the same. We've all got nerves, we've all got the heebie-jeebies, but as soon as you set off, away you go, and you just can't go fast enough. And it's just in the blood for us all. And it's just, yeah, it's special. It's just a one-off. And the whole world nowadays are looking at you throughout the world with social media. And it's just, everybody's involved in it. Everybody's part of it. And it's just, yeah, it's just amazing place. It really is.
Oh, I gotta. You want to be a three-wheeling salesman, huh? Huh?
No, just
look
passionate.
at- we're bringing Greg in. Greg in. No,
can't-
but thanks,
Can't
Greg, for
help
the pitch there. We're all in this together to promote our sport, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
That's
and
why we're
it's
here.
great, yeah.
Today, we're here to promote the sidecar sport, and hopefully future generations will be all professionals earning a living from doing the sport that I love. I wouldn't like to think the commitment we've had for 30 years, and it's not about the money that people have put in. It is, because that's what gets us there. Without everyone's help, we wouldn't be here, because we're not paid for it. And the financial commitment and the commitment, I've committed 30 years of my life to the sport, and I eat, breathe sidecars, I mean, fishing's my second sport, a complete relax from this, which I enjoy doing, and take Andy and his family and things, and it's all part of it. But it's a one-off sport. It really is.
Well, we're the greatest, but I'm glad you mentioned that too. As I was going to say, he's beat me to the punch here, but yeah, we have a lot of good special stuff going to go on with the centennial here. 100 years, huh?
Yeah.
A sidecar racing at the TT this year, so it is going to be special, right? And I keep everybody in touch on what our plans are, and I want to get all the guys that come to the TT or people in the sport, to get their suggestions. So I'm working with TT now. We got some goodies coming on. In addition to the main course, of course, the racing. But I'll just keep that under wraps just for a minute. But I'm going to be, contacting, on social media everybody and telling them what we have planned, and to get their views on it, and see if we can, any new play, we can make it bigger and better than I even coming up with here. Right?
Yeah,
Right,
absolutely.
Greg?
Yeah,
we're
it
all
wants
up
to be.
for it. Hey?
Absolutely up for it.
Well, now I got to ask Andy. What do you think? What do you think about the 100 years, Andy? You're up for it, huh? It's going to be special, don't you think? Huh?
Oh, very much so. I mean, I only got into sidecar racing because I wanted to passenger at the TT. It's as simple as that. And so to actually, first of all, get on a sidecar, and then actually discover I actually like it, and then quickly discover I was all right at it. So to then spend the next 6 or 7 years getting good enough just to even get on the radar with other riders that they'd take you as a passenger, to then actually qualify for the TT, to then actually turn up on the Isle of Man, do your newcomers lap, realise that you do actually know where you're going, which is great, and then to go out and get your 2 laps in, qualify for the race, and then finish it. It's just amazing. So to actually be racing when it is the 100th anniversary is even more special.
Yeah, it's really good. It's a tremendous thing there. But like Greg was saying, but that you've only had a couple of TTs under your belt, right? So far, right?
Yeah.
But it really gelled this last year, right? Right, Greg? You guys really, the first go between the two of you guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'd like to say something about Andy. And this is the when I first heard it, I was quite shocked and stunned about it. But I think it's the mark of the man. Now, Andy's only done the TT. I'm hoping he doesn't mind me saying this, because this is how things happen. And Andy's only done TT since 2018, and I think it was 18. Was it 19? Now, there's not many people that are sat here today that have gone down Bray Hill at 160 miles an hour and come flying out the back of a sidecar and survive it. And not only that, to get over that without any injuries, and then to get back in for the second race and have no problem with it. When I sat and thought about that, that's the mark of a good man, because nobody wants to crash at the TT, nobody wants to come out the back of the TT. And Andy will explain what happened and whatever it is. And he put that to rights straight away. And I think that's literally the mark of the man, and what he's got in himself to prove that he wants to do this, and what the TT means to him, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, he's proved it to me. He told me that, and obviously I was concerned about it. And then we went to Southern 100 Road races, and just instantly, everybody makes mistakes, and whatever happened for Andy happened. and he's got over it and got through it, and we've all had crashes and things over the years and major breaks and things, and through sheer determination, you know, he's come back, you know, and wants to be on with me. I just hope I can do him justice to put him where hopefully he'd want to be. But yeah, fair play to him. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. What do you say about that, Andy? About that, particularly your exit there.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind talking about it when people ask us, but I certainly don't talk about it just because, I fell out and that wasn't that great, because there's, just to touch for a moment, lots of people have had accidents at the TT and they're not here, you know, so I'm very conscious of that. We were having a great race. It was the first race in 2019, and of course there was lots of rain that year, so practice laps were down, but it felt great. And we came out of Governor's start of the just end of the second lap, about to start our third. As we came out of Governor's Dip, of course you work in the back of the bike, and I glanced around the shoulder of me driver, and I could just spot the outfit in front pulling away, and I thought, we're going, we'll have them. And I saw my driver's shoulders just drop a little, and I thought, yeah, he's clocking them. And you tuck down at Governor's, and you're not going to move again till you start to move for Quarter Bridge, which is a couple of minutes down the road. And we went flying down across the start finish, all felt great. We went through the bottom of Bray Hill, absolutely flat, because I can see the driver's foot, so I could tell Shippo hadn't touched the brakes. It was great. You took down, you feel the bike lift at Agos, and I thought, great. And you're just waiting for the next little lift at Selborne Drive, and I just felt it lift slightly, and I thought, and literally my head went, this is Sel. I only got the word Sel out of my head, I'm thinking of Selborne, and the next thing I knew, my foot had just moved outside into the wind. And of course, as Greg has said, you know, it's north end of 145, 150 plus mile an hour there. Foot went out into the wind, and the next thing I knew, I'm skipping like a stone down the road, flung my arms and legs out, thinking it'll hurt if I keep bouncing.
Yeah. Whoa.
Landed up flat on my back with the white line right in front of me, and just didn't panic, and thought, just stay in the middle of the road, and just used my feet and my hands to keep myself sliding down the middle of the white line. And then I just found myself stopped, and I just rolled into the gutter and up against the wall, because someone's behind me, so I'm getting out of the way. Padded myself down and thought, okay, looked over the wall just to check that it wasn't a 60-foot drop I was about to truck myself over, and it was some ladies' rose bushes. So I just climbed into those, sat down, thought, okay, check myself again, everything's still here. I took my helmet off and took my chest protector out, took my gloves off, unzipped my leathers, and thought, whew. And then, of course, then the world arrives, because they're expecting to find bits of me, and then literally about an hour or so later, St John's checked me out, and they said, we want to take you up to the hospital. And I thought, actually, look, I'm all right, and I know I'm going to go into shock at some point, and literally I thought, right, okay. I said, well, tell you what, take me to the physio team that they've got up at the back. And I must admit, the work, anyone who'd ridden the TT, rider or passenger, solo or driver or no, the physio team are fantastic at the back. And it was headed up by Isla last year, it'll be Emma Jane this year, really experienced. And I just walked in the back door, and you've got all these hairy arse TT solo riders all getting ready to go out, getting taped up. I walked in looking a bit battered, and Isla said, "You all right, Andy?" And I said, I've just fallen off. And she went, "Where?" And I said, "Agos." And the whole room went, and I went, "You all right?" And I went, "No." And I just burst into tears, and she just hugged me and held me, and that was the shock. And then, after about 5 minutes of sobbing constantly, I then just stopped. She went, "What would you like?" I said, "A cup of tea and a biscuit." And they lay me out and wrapped me up in a blanket, I had a cup of tea and a biscuit, and then I fell asleep for half an hour. So, and then went back with the team. They were all, "You all right?" And really just sort of went from there. And I was just back on the bike 3 days later. And I must admit, I did crush the bars a little bit first time down Bray Hill. But as soon as we did it, coming up to Quarter Bridge, you go round that right-hander. And I thought, job's on now. And finished that race and can't wait to get back.
That's some show. What do you think? I have a guy over here in the audience, right? A big fan of you guys, right? He's here to, take it all in. Yeah, who are you?
Yeah, my name's Jim. Yeah, and it's such a privilege to be with you guys. It really, really is. I remember back in the 90s, coming for the TT through the 90s, the 2020s, and Greg, we had £1 for every time I'd send this guy around the TT course, But I mean, just going back to what you said there as well, Andy, being a passenger, you know, I've always said to me, mate, how do these guys do this? You know, this passenger and rider, it's just incredible to see. It really is. It's such a privilege to watch the sidecars around here. Like I say, I remember Greg from years ago, like, you know, as a kiddie, coming, well, saying, you know, back in the 80s, 90s.
Yeah. I think it's my 44th year this year of actually, I've never missed a year since my father brought me in 2010. And I wondered where he disappeared to as a young lad for a fortnight every year with his brother and things, and, you know, Big Vincent's, and off they went, and they were going to the Isle of Man, and it was just like, where are you going every year, Dad? And it's just like, do you want to go this year? Yeah, I'd love to go. So we came on the back of the Big Vincent, and my dad brought me to the TT, and then he took me to Ramsey Airport, I'll never forget it, and saw the sidecars coming around there, and it was instant attraction for me. Instant. I said, wow, look at these, Dad, these are proper. And he says, yeah, they're good, aren't they? And yeah. And I just said to my father, when I was 10 years old, 44 years ago, I'm going to win that one day, I'm going to do this. And then that was it. That was the start from there, when I was like, you know, young lad, when I first bought the first sidecar, BSA sidecar that I still have. And it's just, yeah, it's been the journey from there, and it was just that instant flutter that you get. And yeah, it goes on, and that's it as a young boy with the young kids that are coming along. And it's like last year we brought a little mini moto sidecar, painted same as the sidecar, and we took it up to scrutineering, and the young lads went through the process. As young lads, they'll never forget it, to try and encourage and show that the younger generation what it's all about. And it was fantastic. But yeah, it's all part of the journey of coming to the Isle of Man, you know. And then to be able to be privileged to race in it. And I mean, I've crashed at the TT over the years, and I've been fortunate that, you know, we're still here. And that's why I mentioned about Andy, because it's something special to be able to get through those difficult periods in your time. I've nearly lost my life at Scarborough Road races and come back from it with Kenny. And it was a big challenge again for the following year. The TT is just the biggest challenge in the world.
Absolutely.
Without, in every way, shape or form.
Definitely.
You know, machinery, financial, and doing it and qualifying for it and getting there. And everyone's got the goal, and it's for everybody, from first man to last man, who achieved to get to the TT is a major thing for them. And yeah, it's just special. Yeah.
I'm looking so forward to seeing you two this year, because it's great to say this year, TT 2023, you know. Yeah, so I'm looking so forward to seeing the pair of you.
You'll definitely see us, because it's definitely bright.
Yeah, right, okay.
It was certainly stood out last year, but this year will be even brighter and great. And yeah, we're looking forward to it, and
Sure.
we just hope we can pull a nice result off to go with it. You know, it would be nice, because it does. It's the icing on the cake. A good result for every team. It's 12 months preparation every year. None of us wants to break down or have an incident. We want to finish because of the sheer involvement with sponsors around the world and people helping, and they hope you get the result, and they're with you. It's not just you getting the result. It's everyone that's on my bike are with me and Andy going down that hill. They've all been part of it and created it, and the result is for everyone, you know. Okay, we've done it, and it'd be lovely to get on the top step again at the TT and be part of that, and to experience that again. But it's a family thing, you know. Everyone becomes a family, you know.
Of course, and as a spectator, you know, we use guys, you know, we're with you on your laps, your 3 laps.
Absolutely.
We're totally with you as spectators, we really are, you know. Yeah. But I just wish you all the best for this, guys. I really do, and I'd love to see you on the podium. There's no reason why you can't get on the podium. You know, your heart's there for it. And
I mean, I like the preparation. You know, just getting up with Greg. I mean, I've seen him around the paddock for a good few years, and it's the amount of preparation and commitment the guy puts in, and you can see that. And the bit I enjoy most about passengering is simply working with the driver and actually saying, right, getting the best out of the machine. So if the driver's happy and happy with how they're handling the bike, and obviously we make quite a difference to how the bike's handling, then it goes faster. So simple things, and I would chat with Greg, is when we went out, I could see that literally, how can I help here? you know, and just actually we're going round, and he said, well, you're giving me this sort of confidence. So I could tell straight away. There's one of the first bends, well, not one of the first bends, but when we're starting to get up to speed around the Southern, there's a right-hander through into Church Bends, and I sort of got up there knowing it needs a bit front, and I deliberately moved up a bit further and dug my helmet into Greg's back so he knew I was there. And you can't communicate on that first practice session other than what you're doing on the bike. And we came in at the end of the session, and you just turn off into the return road, and Greg's there sort of shaking the bars, and I thought, hey, he hasn't turned around and given me the evils. I think he's a bit happy. And then we got off the bike, and he literally sort of jumped out. I said, what? And he was like, you can tell he's been a talker today, which is great. And he was like, but it was just excitement, and you know, and to have that connection straight away, just went from there. And I just loved the feeling of the bike through it. And we come in and go, how's it feeling? I need a bit more front here, but I like what you're doing there, you know, and if we can work this bit a bit more. And he said instantly, if we can work that bit a bit more there, and that's where the results come, because you get the confidence. So
important.
Yeah, and
you know, it really is as a team to get it right.
Yeah, and then Greg rung us up after after the TT, and we'd done the pre-TT together, and we'd tested in October, the end of the year before, on the Classic, and he rung me up and said, do you want to do the Southern with us? And I went, yes, you know, and actually know that. And looking ahead to the TT this year, and the first thing he said to me, he said, would you like to do the TT as well? And I said, yeah. He said, well, my first goal is to give you your fastest TT. And all I thought at that point was, what a nice thing for the guy to say. And also as well is, I'm thinking as well, I know how quick he is, thinking, my first and fastest TT with you, Greg, will be the first lap of practice on the Monday night. I know it will, but then we'll build from there. And that's respective of my previous pace, not respective of when, you know, and we're going out into the TT for this year and the Southern, not with, we're going to smash this and smash that, because anyone who starts approaching a road race like that, there's one thing they're going to smash, and it's not going to be lap record. We're confident in each other, and we'll build from there. But to be, I can feel myself tingling now. When we get on that first night of practice, there won't be the nerves and butterflies of, this is a new him, bike's new. No, the butterflies will be the excitement of a beautiful course, and then we're going to go from there.
And we're just going to enjoy it.
Yeah,
Enjoy it, because that's what it's about at the end of the day.
It is good,
And we'll take whatever comes, and we'll do our best as a unit, as a team, because it's not just me and Andy. It is the team around here at the TT that they're all working. It could be late at night and helping prepare things, and doing all sorts of things to keep this event going for us. It's a lot of hard work. You wouldn't work as hard at actual work as you do at the TT, but to get that finish is the reward for it all. And yeah, we're not saying we could be anywhere at the TT, but I'd love to be, you know, nicely in the top 10. We were this year until chain snapped, sat 7th in a good 7th place. So yeah, it'd be lovely to be in the top 6 of the TT. That would be my goal this year, knowing how Andy rides with us and things. And if we can keep it together and put it together and get the sponsorship and, you know, get the companies to help us to get what we need to do that, then I think realistically it's possible to be back there again, you know.
And I can poke a bit of fun at that, and I will poke a bit of fun at Greg there, because he said it would be nice to be in the top 6. So that's not a prediction, anyone, by the way.
No.
That's just, when we went to the Southern, you know, Greg just simply said, we were just chatting before we'd even been out on the first night of practice. He said, hey, if we could get 6th, 7th, whatever, you know, that's just sort of broadly where I think we could get to. And then first race, 3rd. You know, that's and then second race, 4th, and a very close fourth. You know, we were a fraction of a second off being 3rd. You know, and so again, that's just the confidence we've got in each other. It's not a confidence of we're going to go out and smash it. It's actually, and as I've always said to Greg and any driver I've been with, we can control what we do, whether it's on the track, and that's what we can do. We'll then go out and do that and the best that we can do, you know, and then we work together. If someone else is doing different stuff in front of us, then we work together on how to handle that. And Greg and I just clicked both together, and also as always we were getting up to speed and working together on how to manage, because it's a bit different working on a track or the Southern, where there's other outfits, to then being at the TT. And we're both approaching both of those different challenges.
And that third place for the Southern, that's going to put you in good stead for the TT, of course, as well, isn't it? You know, that's just.
I'm hoping so. Yeah, just if we can, like I say, this last year's trophies. If we can keep the performance, we're out in a couple of weeks. We start our season in a couple of weeks at Brands Hatch. That'll be our first TT signature for this year, and if we can carry on from where we ended off at the end of last year, then we'll be buzzing for come May, June for this year's TT, and it'll put us in good stead right at the beginning of the season. But there's still a lot of preparation. I've got engines all on the bench that I'm preparing and building myself. So there's a lot to do between now and the TT and getting here for sure. Sponsorship, and we're putting on a big evening in April to try and raise funds for the Isle of Man. So there's a lot to do yet before we get here for sure. But one thing I will guarantee you, when we do get here, we'll look professional, we'll look smart, we'll stand out from the crowd, and it'd be great to do that. And I just hope that what I have been doing this year is, like, I've started a little sidecar racing school so people can come into the sport and start to learn about the sport, and hopefully it'll keep the future of the sidecar racing alive. And it's gone down very well, and we've brought people in. I had a passenger who's been part of this season and who's won equally as mount as what we have. Another Andy Javins, he came from the sidecar school that I created, and he's coming up to speed, and there's other people that we're teaching now. So I'm trying to encourage new passengers to learn somewhere and come into our sport to enjoy it and be brought up in the correct way, so they've got plenty of experience so they could think of doing the challenge of the TT. And it's just those years dedication I'm trying to use to slowly bring these people in, and to try and, not saying I'm the best sidecar racer at all, I'm not at all, nowhere near, but I'd like to think my experience in my 30 years I can pass down and bring these people in. And I've proved that this year, that I've created a champion in little Andy from the start of this school, you know, from someone who could never move in a sidecar and was dedicated to wanting to do it and carrying on doing it and persevered doing it, and he's ended up being 4 times champion along with Andy and myself. And you know, that's where I want to put my little bit of input back for all the help that people have helped me to do the sport. I mean, I don't want to write myself off, I'm not finished yet, and I'll go for as long as I can possibly go, because I always have that dream of winning a TT, and you've got to be in it to win it, and I will follow my dream for as long as I possibly can. You never know, one day maybe still pull it off, but we'll see. But if I can bring people into the sport to come and do one TT from my sidecar school, then it's all been worthwhile for sure, and maybe produce a winner from that, you know, which would be absolutely fantastic.
That sounds good. Yeah, we're all enthusiastic, right? Hey, we got the guy over here. He's getting into it too. Yeah, we you know, yeah, it is. You know, the whole sport, right? It's all about the spirit, isn't it?
It is.
It's all about the spirit. And once you get into it, you got it. You can't get rid of it. You don't want to get rid of it. Put it that way. You have it. You know, I mean, it's in your soul now, right? I just see this guy over here too. He's watching with me. You know, we're all big fans, right? Absolutely. And so he feels it too. You know, so yeah, we got a good thing. So now, okay, what we say? We were talking about a lot of our, you know. All the action that we have at the TT, right? Yeah. So guess what? You know, we're in that business. We got some nice videos now. You know, Greg, we have quite a few, so we could be here for a long time. So we've picked out a few, and so we're going to show those here in a minute. Now. The ones that we picked out here was what, of course, we have to have. We got the one here with Greg and Andy at the pre-TT, and that has, like, you know, a bit of a special meeting here for you guys, and you can talk about that in a minute, right? Then we have another one we were looking at. I think it was the one there, one of the TT years that you were racing there with Julie as your passenger, right, Craig? We got that one.
Yep.
We're gonna put that one.
Yeah, that would be a good one to show. Yeah.
One there with Andy, with John Shipley. You were talking about some of this. I'm not quite. You could tell if that was the year. I don't remember that you had your little mishap. You know what I mean? But we have one there for Andy as well. So okay, and then you guys can give us all your comments on that after we watch it. Okay, all right. Hit it. Now here I got, one of our very experienced riders, on the southern bit, but also on the TT. You want to say anything about TT first, Greg?
Yeah, it's my 30th year this year.
Yeah, 30th
It's quite
year.
special to me, really. And I made quite a conscious effort of doing that, And 30th year here as well, so we've had a few gremlins yesterday and this morning. Hopefully we'll get a finish. We're at the back at grid, but we'll have a go, and it's a bit of fun. It's good to support the club down here,
Yeah.
It's a good meeting.
That's good. Yeah, I know. I mean, well, you've raced. Yeah, you've raced. Down here with the Classic, you raced at the Southern. A lot of years.
I have,
And
yeah.
you've done very well. Both. At the Southern and also the TT as well. Of
Yeah,
course.
I've been
You've
on
done really
podium a few times at TT, and I've won the Southern. I've finished 4th here with my father, so that's why I want to finish today. This is a tribute to my father, because right where we're stood now is where he nearly died in 2019, half an hour before we started racing. So it means a lot to me to finish this race today.
Oh yeah,
Definitely does.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, well, that's what the thing with the sport is. I notice, I'm just a spectator, but all the guys in the sport, it's all the memories you guys have.
Absolutely.
Huh?
Yeah.
That's right to the heart, isn't it?
Yeah, some fantastic memories down here at Southern.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
times. Good
All
times.
right. Well, we're going to follow you, here and then, of course, at the big one up at the TT. All right, mate?
Fantastic.
All righty,
Smashing.
can you do this? Remember this. You got to do the 3-wheeling sign. All right. Take care, Greg. Oh, we're back again. Yeah. What do you think about that there? We had the 3 videos there. Go ahead. Go with you first there, Greg.
Yeah, it's good to go back in a bit of history there, and you were showing us there 2018 with myself and Julie Caneper, my partner at the time, racing around the TT, and it was a good result. And yeah, it's good to go back over old times. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that was good. And then Yeah, we have to get to Andy then. But I wasn't sure, but I was correct. We hit that right. You know, it was the 2018 TT with John Shipley, and the one that you had your little exit there, huh? It was the same year, right?
Well, as I said, that was my first year at the TT, which went really well. And it was a fantastic fortnight in that it didn't rain and drop all fortnight. So you were out every night at practice week, 2 laps, which was brilliant. So we got plenty of bike time, and we were just, looking at the videos, looked down at my arm, completely covered in goosebumps again, and ready. If someone said to me, "Oh, we've closed the roads, do you want to go and do a lap of the mountain course?" now, I couldn't get my leathers on quick enough, to be honest.
Yeah, it was good there. And then, of course, you guys go ahead. Tell us a little recap about the pre-TT. You got a special story you got there about that.
Yeah, it was 2019 pre-TT. Sorry, last year's TT.
Yeah.
Pre-TT was a pretty special meeting for me. And it's a meeting that I've always would have liked to have won with me and my father from many years ago, starting out and doing it for a lot of years. Me and my father raced together and we finished 4th. And it's just one that it's a fantastic meeting. And it's all just before the day before the Isle of Man TT start. And it's purely all classics. And I have a classic Hillman Imp sidecar that I don't ride an awful lot. But it's a very good outfit, and it's very quick, and it's capable of winning down at the pre-TT. And I asked Andy to come and be part of it and do it with us. But unfortunately, because I don't ride it enough, we haven't fettled out the little problems that we've had with it. But it was still an enjoyable meeting, and it was like, it's a great place, and it was certainly the meeting that I want to succeed at. Or just to be on the podium would be absolutely fantastic. Just a bit of respect for, just personal for myself and my father, to say that we've actually done it. But yeah, unfortunately gearbox locked up. But like I say, I think we shook hands there that we're definitely coming back for it for this year, and we're hopefully a little bit better prepared for it, and we'll use it a little bit more and just iron out the little problems that we do have with it. And hopefully we'll have a successful pre-TT this coming season. So yeah, it'll just be icing on the cake for the start of the TT the next day. If we can have a cracking result down there, that would be that will set off our TT venture together. I think it would be quite a special TT this year, I'm hoping. So yeah, it would be nice to get a result on it. And Andy's great in the chair, and it's a big engine, and it's good that I've got Andy. He's a big lad himself and whatnot to keep the old sidecar down, It's it's good. It's good fun. It's a good event. It's all the people from yesteryear, and it's just special people, special machines with a special event, and it's just the start of our journey at the actual TT races. So it'd be nice if we can pull it off together, and I'm confident in Andy enough to do it, and hopefully I'm good enough for him to do it. And I'm sure we'll make a good account of it, I think, this year.
I like how Greg has said, I hope I'll be good enough for Andy to do it, because I could always cheekily say that I've been around the pre-TT course faster than he ever has on a classic, and I've been on the podium at the pre-TT, but Greg hasn't yet. And I say that with a wry smile in my face, because I know Greg's got more than enough talent easily. And that'd be the great thing about. I raced classics last year on the track, and we were right at the sharp end breaking lap records with a different driver, but then that just gives us both the confidence going out in that. We've got some excellent machinery. Greg and I race really well together, and the good things about is on and off the bike, we get on well, so we know that as we're going on to that. And I can remember the first lap of practice, I was a bit nervous on a new bike going out of the pre-TT, and we came in and Greg went, "You know what you were doing there at the start, don't do that again," because it was just putting me off. And I was like, fine. And then we just went out the next time, quicker, so we know we can, but as Greg was saying earlier, there's a lot that needs to come together to happen in the right way for us to be, for anyone to produce good results around, a tough course like the Southern, and that Belang course. But we're putting the preparation in, Greg's doing a lot of the work as well. So between us, we know that turn up on the right day with everything working right, we can certainly pull out some good results for sure.
Yeah, well, that sounds good. Yeah, of course. We're going to be there covering you guys, huh? Starting with the pre-TT, huh? So you guys are going to have a nice saga of great videos. Yeah. So it's going to be good. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And don't forget, we're the sponsor of the sidecar races at the pre-TT. So all your fans, make sure you get out there. Yeah, catch the action. But I tell you what, I could do my little pitch now. The pre-TT is such a great event, and the public don't really know at large too much about it. But the viewing that we're getting on our pre-TT videos have been, right up there, right close to the TT. I may tell you what, it really got good stuff there, right? So so you guys are going to have a nice collection of videos for you, right? So having said all of that, I get my little bitch in there, right, on all the three-wheeling promotion that we're doing here. Greg, do you have maybe you could tell us a little bit now. Let's start working ourselves into, the sponsorships. Now that's what we're trying to do. Get the word out there. Three-wheeling's getting the word out there, right? That's what sponsors want. Sponsors want exposure, which is fair enough. They want to see their name on that fairing, right? And they want to see that team that they're sponsoring do well, right? And so here's two guys. Go ahead, Greg. Tell us a bit about how you see that.
Well, for what three-wheeling have done for our sport regarding around the world coverage, it's definitely proven to me as a driver of a sidecar looking for sponsors and to promote the companies at the world's biggest road race. Three-wheeling have definitely achieved this. In my eyes, I have sponsors from America. I've had them from Australia, all because of the social media and the fantastic collage of the films and the footage you put together, for not just for us, for every sidecar team that competes at these road races, the Isle of Man and the Southern 100. And the pre-TT is just getting massive. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It's one of the most favourite, I think, that's building so much now with all the classic bikes and the social media from it, and it's always been there, and a lot of people haven't realised that it's actually on before the TT starts, and now they're starting to come to the Isle of Man and put that into the calendar for the 3 days to make it part of their holiday that they're coming in. And same with the sponsors. I'm trying to encourage my sponsors to come over slightly earlier because it's such a great event. To watch it as a spectacle and to be involved with some drivers and passengers to be part of the team, and it's like an added bonus before the big event starts at the TT. I mean, my sponsors, the worldwide, the variation. I go from world-class DJs, Carl Cox Motorsport. What an absolute fantastic person that I've met in my life that has taken us around the world to go racing. Carl kindly invited us after a TT in 2017 to go to New Zealand for me and my partner Julie at the time, and that happened for 2 years. Now that's a DJ coming into motorsport, and the amount of people that sort of person is helping in all different kinds of motorsport. He's a drag racer himself. Very competitively, 6-second drag racer. Then you've got NASCARs, you've got solos, and you've got super bikes, and it goes on and on and on for what he does. And then it goes from that type of sponsor to a firefighting company in America, Our Heroes. They came on board with us this last year. So that's the variation of what the three-wheeling media is putting out there to show on what sort of companies that can actually get involved with you. And it can be any type of company. It doesn't have to be a sports company. you know, a lot of the companies throughout the world to go extreme. 3 years ago, Suzuki with Jamie Whittam, for example, Durex. You would never think Durex would be involved in motorsport. They were a massive sponsor. So it's the variation of these different companies that are coming involved with motorsport now, and it's all down to social media and the three-wheeling that you're creating to show that it can be for anybody and everybody. We have sponsors, and it's not just the big sponsors. We can't come here without the sponsors. And we have a lot of small sponsors that have supported me for years. And you're talking hundreds of pounds. That's a lot of money to a lot of people to come here and take out their holiday to help us buy a tyre to go around the TT, to buy us some race fuel. Then you have the big oil companies that come in to supply the oils and the fuels for the competitors to be part of it. And this is what I'm trying to create this year for the 100 years of the sidecars. It's a special year, it's a special event, and it's one that everybody wants to be part of, and to say we were part of the 100 years of the Isle of Man TT. And this is what I'm trying to encourage, and hence we're here today to try and promote not only the sidecars but ourselves for such a special event, because it is so varied on the sponsorship side of things. It can never be too large, it can never be too small, and everyone, as far as I'm concerned, are all appreciated at the same. They will all receive something from me at the end of a season, large or small, to say thank you for being involved and being part of the world's greatest road race and us. And to me, it's a very important thing, because without the sponsorship and the support, it just wouldn't happen. Yeah. You know, we have travel companies, you know, Moto Travel in America. They bring their guests. He brings 100 guests from America as part of his business, and he's involved with us. And we talk to the guests, and they are enthralled and amazed the first time they ever come and go down Bray Hill. Where do we go to watch for the first time? Go to the bottom of Bray Hill. They come back and are just blown away with the TT circuit. There's nothing like it in America or throughout the world. It is a one-off. It is special. And then they follow you for the 2 weeks of the TT, and then you become friends for life. They're always in touch with people, you know, and you stay connected. So it's not just coming to TT, and it's a build-up of a relationship with people. And the friends that I've met over the years, through going to Australia with, the Calcocks, and staying out there for 2 months at a time, you know, and taking the time off work. And it's a dream. It's a one-off dream for the things like this to happen. And I'm just so glad I got involved in it years ago. It attracted me, the place itself, but then the dedication of meeting such nice people throughout the world and being part of the teams and the people that race with you, down to like me and my partner, you know, racing and going around the world, you know, racing with people and meeting people. It's just special, and it's just special memories that you'll always take. And going back to my father, you know, I've recently lost my father, and he said before we went, it is special. What we've done is special together, and he's so glad that he's done it, and I'm so glad that we've done it. And it's just, yeah, the whole thing is, life is a dream. It's a journey, and these special journeys and these special people that come in your life, to me as a person, is what life is about. It's about memories and about dreams and following your dreams. I'm following my dream. I'm still following my dream. It may never happen again. It may happen, but I'm still trying, and I'm still following my dream. And my dream is to be a TT winner, to be somebody. To me personally, to be a TT winner. I respect everyone that's not only done a TT, but everyone who's been a TT winner. Solo, sidecar, are special in my way, and I would like to be I'd like to be special in part of that club, you know. I'd love to be over 110 this year. It's a little niggle to me at the minute. I know we're capable of more, and I'm hoping that Andy's going to be part of that, to try and give me the confidence to be it's a goal. It's in years you have goals and milestones to set, and that's a little milestone for me. And if we can come away this year and I've done that little achievement myself, then it's all part of what the Isle of Man's about, and it's following your dream, and I'm still on that dream trip. So hopefully we'll make it happen.
There we go. Oh, no more insight from the heart there. Yeah. So yeah. What do you say? You have anything else to add to that there, Andy? I think you guys, I could feel the chemistry there. He knows exactly what he said, and I do too. We get it, right?
Definitely,
huh?
absolutely.
Yeah, and you have to actually go, and get a little taste of it. Go as a fan, as a spectator, like you're saying, Greg. And. You're gonna get all enthusiastic like us, huh? You're gonna catch the spirit, Well, I have to look at that camera. I always forget. There you are. I'm looking at you over there. I'm looking at all of our fans out there. Come to the TT. Come to the pre-TT.
Definitely.
Come to the Southern, which is a great race too. Yeah.
That's what got me into going to sidecar racing. Is that literally I was a 16, 17-year-old lad, just got into bikes because I just used to walk to school past a bike shop, Wiley in Holland, it was called, and just loved falling in love with the bikes there. Joined the Market Drayton Motorcycle Club, I remember, and couldn't afford a bike myself, wasn't old enough to have one, scratched enough money to be able to buy a helmet. So I went on the back of the bikes. We went to Donington Park to watch the bikes race around there. And then in between the two main feature bike races, they had the sidecar race, and I'd never seen a sidecar in my life. And they went round there, and I was just transfixed when they first went round Redgate at the start of the race. And I said to my best mate, Aid, at the time, I said, I'm going to do that. He said, drive it. And I said, no, passenger it. And I said, as a 17, 18-year-old, I'm going to passenger a TT, and I'd love to do that. It took a few years and distractions of girls and other hobbies and stuff like that, but went as a fan to watch the TT and thought, right, I'm going to do that, and I have done twice. And I'm going back this year, which is brilliant. And as Greg has touched on, the sponsors that contribute to helping to do that. And Greg and I are both involved in business, not with each other, but at different stuff. And we get that it needs to work for sponsors too. And Greg's talked about the sidecar school that he runs, which is a fantastic opportunity about bringing new people into the sport. But equally as well, if you're a company that's interested in something different, that can give a bit of a different profile to your brand, then we can certainly start talking about, well, rather than having a corporate day where you'll go and play golf, come and have a corporate day with us. Not only will, you'll get a chance to see the outfits, sit on them, you'll get a chance to have a go, and to have someone with Greg's experience and pedigree drive you round a track. I'll add my tiny bit of pedigree to say, well, this is how you hold on and don't fall off. You get a tiny bit of experience of what it's like, and you'll find then, just as you will find, as just saying there, Chris, it'll suck you in, and you can be part of the whole thing.
But just going back to yourself as well, Greg, talking about the 100th year for the TT, for the 100th year for TT, for the sidecars, with the TT, with the way the TT is going at the moment, it's just going from strength to strength to strength. With this sidecars now, this DR, I just think it'll give that, that big push for the sidecars.
It is.
Especially now, yeah.
It is from the media side of things and the coverage of the sidecars at the TT. It is, you're correct in what you're saying. It's going from strength to strength to strength. Bigger companies are wanting to be part of it and getting involved with it. And it's the future's looking good for the Isle of Man and for road racing in itself, and it's a spectacle that. Anybody talks about the Isle of Man, it's the TT races, and then as soon as you mention that you're part of that or you're competing at that, it's just a different level. It's completely different, and the amount of people that turn up to the TT, it ranges from royalty.
It does.
We've had royalty on the grids at the Isle of Man TT just recently, so the enthusiasm and the intrigue of the TT races, because it's intriguing. It's just this road race that is so long so fast, so dangerous. But it's not dangerous. It's because it is what it is. You appear at the Isle of Man, and I'm the same. I roll up on the boat and I'm thinking, another year, here we go, you know, and I'm thinking, anybody says to me as a newcomer, Greg, you know, what's the best bit about the TT? The boat trip home.
Yeah.
And it's like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Well, after the TT, come and ask me the same question. And they've said to me, going home, you're dead right, coming home on the boat. The thrill of doing the TT and the thought of coming home, you know, it's just really something as a competitor, you know, because we all think it. We don't when we're on the bike and things, but we all think it, and it's a challenge, and it's just, that's what makes the butterflies, and it makes it all worthwhile. Just the trip there, on the way there, you've arrived, you're doing it, and then the satisfaction of going home on the boat at home and saying, I've done another TT, you know, successful or not. No, everybody's in the lap of the gods. Everybody prepares the machine themselves to the best that they can to do a TT, because they know what it's all about. But the actual achievement of going home, knowing you've finished a TT, is quite special.
Yeah, I remember years ago when I used to come home for the TT, you know, and then we'd go back on the ferry thinking, well, we've had a great TT, you know, and then we'd see like the TT riders, sidecar riders and passengers and the solos, and you'd think, wow, what them guys have just been through, you know, absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
You know, a full fortnight of practice just to get through all that, just to get on that ferry and get home safe. He's like, wow, that's the best. That must be the best feeling ever, you know, for these guys.
It is at the time when you finish. It's a fantastic feeling and a sense of achievement. But when you get home, it's like an anticlimax. It's like you come down on a big lull, really, because you've spent, the minute you leave here, you're preparing for the following year, and you spend 12 months preparing, not only financially to try and get sponsors involved with you and everything else to try and achieve to make it here for the TT the following year. You get home and it's just like, it's 12 months of preparation, and then all of a sudden it's over and it's gone. And it's just, if you've had a bad TT, that if you've broken down or and you go into a, I wouldn't say depression or anything, but you go into a lull of like, it's like a failure that you've had a bad TT. And then you get over it after a while, and then it's like instant, like, right, I can't wait for the following TT, right? And it's all about 12 months of preparation to build on coming here again. And it's the same every year. So it goes like this all the time. It never goes level for year after year after year. That doesn't matter who you are, you know. I mean, yes, you can prepare, and there is teams that have been very successful for a lot of years, and it's been fantastic. That's down to the sheer dedication and support and everything that they've got. But it does, everyone has their ups and downs and troughs, and you know, it's just, we keep coming year after year after year because it's in the blood. It's just something that once you've got the bug of the Isle of Man, it's a hard thing to a hard thing to take away. You'll never take it away from you. You know, it's, I don't know if Andy's got the same feeling, but I definitely have. And that's why I keep coming back and to follow that dream. It's all about a dream. You know, everyone's got goals in life, and if you want to achieve these dreams and goals, you've got to commit to doing it, you know. And that's where I'm at with it.
And I get why you keep coming back. I know people retiring, they come back again and again, but you know, for something to race at your standard, you know, yourself as a passenger, it must be such a buzz to ride the way these guys do. You know, it must be difficult to go into retirement, and when you do, you're always thinking at the back of your head, shall I come out of retirement, you know?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
One of them. So I mean, it's full credit to you guys, it really is. It's just awesome what you guys do.
Yeah, I dread the day of not being able to stand at the top of there and looking at the grandstand absolutely full, you know, and then the media and the cameras on you, and you just stood there looking down Bray Hill. There's nothing like it, and you think, how lucky I am to be doing this, and I dread the day that I can't do that, you know, because it's been such a big part of my life, and there's just nowhere like it in the world, and it's just the ultimate challenge to go down that hill and to get over that line at the end of it. There's, you know, and it is a challenge, and it's everyone wants to do it. We all want to do it. The people who aren't here that have sadly lost their lives at the TT, if they had a second chance, they would all be back stood on that start line, without a shadow of a doubt. You know, they would all want that second go at the TT, and that's what it means to everybody to do a TT and a family. We all know the risks and things about it. God forbid it, you know, it'll never happen to us. But do you know what? If it did happen, because the TT is so special to me, means so much to me, you know. Yeah, if it was to be, it would to be. And do you know what? It's like, what a place to go. And that's, I know that's a bit strange to say, but it would be doing my dream. You know, I hope to be able to help people into the sport and sponsor people in the sport later on in my life if I can, and try and help people as much as I can to go and do their dream and do a TT. I'd love to be involved with that. And let's hope that's the case, you know. It's certainly my intention to carry on for a long time and keep it going. But yeah, like I say, not only results, and the whole thing is, it's a roller coaster ride. The whole TT is a roller coaster ride. You know, 1 minute it can be fantastic, next minute it can be the worst place in the world. You know, it can just change like that. And then that's the difference between a team that can stay together and keep it all together and try and ride out these roller coaster rides and try and make it the best you can make it. And it makes teams, it breaks teams.
Yeah.
There's no two ways about it, you know, because of the nature of the beast. And the pressure's on all the time for me and Andy, who are competing, and any team that are competing. There's pressures there that people don't see and don't realise. They've had 12 months of pressure to try and be here, and financial commitment, and it's constant. People are in different mindsets when they arrive at the TT. People may seem to be off with people when they're talking to them, but they don't know what they've just experienced. I've been to a TT and tried to assist saving people's lives at a TT in the track, and then I've come back to paddock and you've ignored people. It's because they have no idea what you've just gone through for that hour, and what you've seen. Even if you do finish the TT, you could have seen all sorts of things, you know, from animals. It's a live track, it's a public road. I've had animals hit me in the head myself, you know, and you just don't know. There's so many things that are going on. It's a challenge to get round the circuit. It's a challenge with the conditions. It's a challenge with wildlife. It's a challenge in ourselves, and it's a challenge to see certain things that have happened around the TT and to focus and stay focused. It's just the ultimate. It's got everything.
It is.
It's got everything, and that's what draws us here.
Yeah, so many obstacles.
And the crowd, and the spectators.
And the spectators.
You know, they're loving it. You can see them going round, and when you're on your last lap, and you can see it. I feel the spectators and my supporters, and you know, there's a lot of people that have been following me an awful lot of years, and I can see what someone on the bank side, and they're giving it, go on, you know, and encouraging you to crack on and get your head down. And it's just like, I can feel that as a driver and as a passenger. We can see that from people, the reactions and things, and it's electric.
Yeah, we get your passion as well as spectators. We get you guys' passion. We understand it. You know, I mean, there's nothing like, you know, that first lap and just you know, the cars, the bikes, just hearing that and in the distance and getting louder and louder and louder. It's just it's just absolutely incredible. Yeah. You know, and you can't describe it to anybody. It's just it's amazing. It really is.
I'll never forget the year. I didn't start one year at the TT. I was number 2 and I didn't start, unfortunately. And I went to the grandstand, and I'll never forget this. Do you know what? It's all right for us on the bike. We're on the bike, we're doing it, and we can't go fast enough. We want it. But I sat and watched the families that have supported the drivers or the passengers and the partners and the girlfriends and everything. And to see that as a young lad on what they experience, I definitely don't want to be on the other side of the fence, because the thoughts of these people that are watching their families and partners and things go around at the TT, it was quite something for me to watch that and experience that, on just how emotional people get when they set off from a TT and when they come through every lap, you know, with the wives and the husbands and things and partners and children and the families, on just how much it means. And then to come home to see them, knowing how big a risk it is and challenge it is, the relief and the excitement and the joy of when they all come back, there's just nothing like it. It's nothing like it. And it's all through the love of the sport.
Exactly.
You know, for the children to be in the paddock, it's just a great place to be, to bring the children into the paddock. It's real life experiences, you know. You can't experience that in a classroom at school or college or wherever you're going to be. It's the kids in the paddock, just, you know, they just love it, and it's families that are created up, and this is where your young generation comes from. They've been with the fathers at the time, and they might end up being with the fathers or you know, racing with the dads and things, and it's a build up for years and years, and this is where your young blood comes from. You know, and it's it's a good place to be. It's a good life to be in, for sure. Definitely.
But what do you think? You know, Greg, you know, our style, our three-wheeling style, but because what you're speaking from the heart, you know, of what the TT's about, you know, the mindset, the personal, you know, vibrations all around you, right? That's what we do. Because I just get mic'd up. I don't even have a mic, and I just start talking to you guys. But it's just like if I didn't have a mic, right? We're catching you at the moment. If you know, down at Park Fermi or out on the grid, or maybe when you just got back in, right? So we're catching all of that, right? And I tell you one thing is, it really is something else, you know. And I get so many compliments and remarks about that from all over the world, you know, about, you know, because it's, as you see it, you know, it's all experiences that you've been saying, and we're getting this, right, Greg? We're catching this on film.
Absolutely. I mean,
Huh?
you caught me. You caught me out last year, and it was just, it's emotional. It's from the heart completely. Without a shadow of a doubt, you caught me out last year myself, and to get on the podium back again on the road races was special to me as a person. Everyone's got their own personal beliefs and thoughts and dreams and everything that they go through in life. And when you've done something like that, and then somebody comes up and says how special that was, or well done, and thanks so much. I mean, it's brought me to tears. It really has, because it means so much. And you catch people, like you say, directly before and after, and you can see before you're talking to people and they're apprehensive, and you could see they're thinking other things, and they're trying to talk to you, and but it's in the moment. You're catching people in the moment, and then you've caught them after the moment, you know, with the sheer excitement and the joy of what they've just done and achieved. And it's special, and the way you bring it across, and you come to people, it comes out of them, you know. And it is from me. It's from my heart. My sport is my heart. It's my passion. It's what I've been around all these years, and it's made my life. You know, it's been part of my life, and the people that you bring in with you, and the people that you meet, and I'm one example. I've been taken around the world, you know, to do this sport, and had invites here, and like I say, this year I've had a fantastic invite to go to America because of sidecars and the three-wheeling, of putting it out there, and to try and take the passion of the TT to the US of A, and to try and encourage those to come and watch this spectacle, because it is, and there is nothing like it, and that's the power of social media, for sure.
There you go. Wow. Oh, we have a great show here. Oh, we got a lot of good content. You guys are giving us all kinds of good stuff. So having said that, why don't we start bringing it to a conclusion here, Greg and Andy. Now, you guys had a good year. We've been talking about this, going just back to 2022, right? You guys want to, we're all of our guys always looking for new sponsors, and wow, catch some of the spirit here. Yeah, catch some of the spirit. Get behind these guys, right? Definitely. Yeah, and we just heard all the passion, and of course we have really two great guys here, two very experienced guys. Yeah, and they're going to have a good result. I'm confident for sure. You have your dream to being the winner, right? Yeah, just keep the dreams, Greg, right? Yeah, and we could. Why don't somebody out there go ahead and chip in and get part of it? That's what it is with our sponsorships, isn't it, Greg?
It is.
It's not a thing where you just get your name on there and you get involved with the guys.
Absolutely,
you become the friends. You're partners, really. Camaraderie, right?
Yeah, absolutely. They become part of us. If we got a new sponsor in now, or somebody approached us to help us, yes, thank you. Yes, we would advertise and promote your company to the best we could possibly do with the Instagram and the Facebook and the social media and the three-wheeling and the ITV4 green light TV. There's the maximum exposure for the biggest road race in the world. That's for your company. But besides that, come into our awning. You'll be part of it. It's a fantastic setup. Come and see what's going on. Come and talk about the bike. Let's go for a lap when we have the time and show you around the circuit. And, we'll go out for meals and be part of it and discuss our plans, because it's not just the TT, it's a bigger picture. I do Formula One at the British Superbikes. Hey, there's another part of our racing team. Come and be part of that. It's not, you don't get advertising for just the TT on a Formula 2. You get advertising. If anybody sponsors me, they get advertising for a full season at the British Superbikes. Bring your company guests. Bring your partners that you're involved with. It's the bigger picture of all the marketing and advertising. Like Andy said earlier, it's not one way. We understand that. It's a two-way thing. We invite our sponsors with the people that are part of their company or their dealerships and things like that. So there's a bigger picture. There's a lot of hospitality we can do and be part of it. And I've done it many years ago, and we had 20 guests of this company that was sponsoring me, and they invited all their distributors and people, and it was fantastic. And it's the bigger picture of the whole racing thing. So it's not just putting your name on a bike. Yeah. It's very heavily involved. And like Andy touched on earlier, now I've done this sidecar school. I have a sidecar. Anybody that sponsors me and wants a sidecar day, they can come and have an experience of being in a sidecar, a TT competing sidecar or British Superbike sidecar, and make it a corporate day. There's nobody else doing that. I'm doing this not only to bring people into the sport, but to look after our sponsors and our guests, to show them just how hard it is to do this, to give them a small introduction into it, to show what it's all about and why they're sponsoring us, and understand that we're going to go down Bray Hill at the Isle of Man at 160 mile an hour plus. And then for them to come and see the TT, and then not only experience going on the sidecar at a corporate day, to say, wow, how do you guys do this? Mm-hmm. How do you really do this? Because that's what they say when they come to the Isle of Man. Yeah. How on earth can you do this? This is just unbelievable. And it is unbelievable.
And become part of it. But that's how I have to do a little picture exactly what you're saying here. That's how I got. I've taken it. I'm kind of like I'm like a fan on steroids here. That's right. This is what happened. You know, I started, but you know, and it's the greatest experience, right? I started as a fan, and I used to go every year. Then I started sponsoring some of the guys, and then I said, wow, this is so great. You know, the spirit and the things that we've been talking about, right? We have to catch this on film. So I say, okay. So then I go ahead and I do the movie. Three-wheeling movie, and that was a big, cult success. And then I said, well, you know, in doing that, I started promoting it on social media, right? And that's taken off like a rocket.
Oh yeah, it
Yeah,
surely
that's
has,
taken off like a
big.
rocket.
It really
Then
has.
that rocket then comes on. Then obviously, because of my affiliation with the TT people, in the fact I need to work with them, to get the coverage, etc. To do the movie, we come close, and then guess what? I wind up then now Three-Wheeling is also the title sponsor. And you can see it back there of the races and the media partner too. So I get the old archive footage, and some of we just showed a few of those here, right? That I get from them, on the road. But I do all the the interviews, pre and post races, and so then we combine them together. And we come up with these great videos where the racing is great, but you get into the mindset of the guys that are racing at the same time. Of course, this thing has exploded, insofar as the social media, right? And what do we do, Greg? Right? There's no pretense. We just show it as it is. That's what we do, and that's enough. Right? That's the whole thing. And so all you guys out there, you got a little bit in your wallet, right? Well, become part of it. You might wind up like me. Heck, I have a real good time because I'm the sponsor. I get to start the races, and then I get to go up on the podium. Maybe I'm gonna have a good time. I want to see you guys up there, huh?
Absolutely.
How is that? We gonna have a good now that right there. That's something to look forward to, huh?
Yeah.
Huh? I put the garland on you guys, so we're up there, huh?
that'd be-
How's that gonna feel, huh?
That would be sweet, wouldn't it?
Well,
That'd
wouldn't that be a
swan
sweet
song.
one, huh?
Yeah, yeah. What would be even sweeter is to have you in my sidecar.
Oh, yeah.
At a corporate day, and to say no, it's to return my thanks to Three-Wheeling and yourself for you putting yourself out to do this today for us. I mean, I've never done this before, and I feel so relaxed. You've made us so welcome, and you do it at the track, and it's just like it's a return, for like you say, for what you're doing for us. And it's the same with sponsors and things. I want sponsors to be part of us, I don't possess to be anybody or anything or anything, but do you know what? We've got a nice racing team, we've got a nice atmosphere. It's a good team to be in with. It's a good team to be involved with the social media, and being around, established for quite a while. That's great, and to be part of that. Just because you've been around a long time doesn't mean to say you're not fast and you're not good enough to do it. That proves I'm still good enough to win 4 championships, even at the age I'm at now, which I like to say I'm still not too old. But what I'm trying to say is, it is successful. It is a good team. It is established, and there's a lot to gain from it, to be a sponsor and to be involved with it, large or small. Like I said before, you don't have to be a massive corporate sponsor. People get worried sometimes that, I'd love to have my name on that. Like, I've had people come up to me at the TT and give £100, £50, and it's just, that's their money that they've given to you on holiday, and then the next minute I've put their name on the bike, and they're blown away that I've taken even such a small amount, because I'm so grateful for people helping us, that I feel obliged to just put that little name on the bike, and they're blown away. And then the next minute they're following you all around the circuit, and they're cheering you on, and you've made that person's TT experience special because they've been around that TT circuit with you, with their name. And to the extreme that I've taken, and I will be this year, I've taken people round for their last ever ride. As in, people, would you please, I've taken Ashes round, and it's their last trip, and it's their last dream. And I've done that many occasions over the years, and I feel obliged that people have come to me and said, would you take my partner for their last ever ride around the TT, because it means so much. Wow. And that's how deep it goes with me, and how close it is, and what it means to me to a TT, and what it means to people that have come to the Isle of Man for year after year after year after year, you know. And it's in the blood, and it's a one-off event. It really is. It's the greatest event in the world.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's why people come from all walks of life to come and support it and to see what it's about. I think it's the intriguing thing to see what it's about. We've had Valentino Rossi, World Grand Prix, you know, superstar here, and blown away with the TT circuit himself, and has admitted that he wouldn't race here. It's just the men of steel. They're a different breed, and they are a different breed. Road racing is a different breed, you know. It's just, the TT is just a one-off. Yeah, very much.
Can I just go back? Sorry, Chris. Can I just go back to, you know, you was talking about you just short the 110. I think you've done 108.22.
No, it's over 109. I've done 109.
Oh, right, okay, sorry.
109.97, I think it is. 9.6 or 9.7.
The best thing about the sidecars as well, it's like a fine wine. You know, like look at John Holden, he takes amazes to win the TT, then he goes and wins two.
That's right.
Conrad Harrison. Yeah. You know, so you're just nipping away at it. So
Roy Hanks is the same.
Yeah.
You know, 30 years, he waited 30 years. Yeah. From when I was leading it, that should have been my TT winning 97. I was leading the TT by 22 seconds. As far as I was concerned, it was in the bag. Right. I had it sewn up. It would have been a fantastic win. And to experience someone putting a P1 out at the TT is just, I can't explain that. I had to talk to myself to like concentrate. Someone's just put P1 out on the mountain of the TT, that your dream is just, you're leading your dream. And then it got took away from me. That's amazing. You know, it broke down on the last lap. So, like you say, all these people have like been here for so long, and it'll just come right on the day for whoever it may be. Your day will come right, and it'll be right, and hopefully you'll get your dream. And it's special to everyone. Everyone who wins a TT, it's just, special. I just hope I get to experience that final two steps.
Yeah, I'd love to see the Perriers win it. I really would.
I mean, I'd love to be back up there regardless again at some time. That would be brilliant for me. But to actually fulfill my life. I mean, everyone has children and families and things like that. I mean, I've got children myself, and you know, I adore them and adore them and everything else. But for me personally, as a person, to make my life complete as a sports person, it would be to win a TT race.
I'd love to see your reaction if you did, mate. I don't know.
Boy, there'd be some party if it was, you know. It would be celebrated. But if it did happen to me as a person, if I was fortunate enough to actually to do it, whichever way it came, then I would actually invite every single person that has helped me, large or small, to come and be part of that celebration, because I wouldn't have been there if it wasn't for them, you know. And right the way across the board, it's like it's down to a lot of people to appear at a TT for every team, you know. It's just not possible doing it on our own with no help or support. So it's all about everyone. It really is.
Amazing. Good luck anyway, you guys. I mean that.
We got the centennial this year, right, Andy and Greg? Yeah. We keep getting bigger and better ourselves, three-wheeling, and the TT's going to get bigger and better too, you know, with all their coverage, you know. So, looking for a good one. So, any case, you guys have any closing statements here? Or?
It'd be great to see, and to see something I've always would love to have done. 30 years at a TT. What a lovely thing it would be to have a collage of footage of 30 years TT experience with like every year that you've had, and if you could do it in this modern day world with the media, how it is, and to get footage together and put something together. It's like this year, one of my small sponsors this year did a lovely thing. Two of them did. Not so long ago, I received one of my sponsors put a book together. I forgot to bring it actually, and it's a lovely book that he sent me for Christmas, and it was a full collage of like the whole season and everything else, and that was fantastic. And then a German sponsor of ours, Albert Reich, from Germany, just recently sent us a lovely calendar that he'd made up. He'd had a fantastic experience. It was a sponsor I'd never met. He got in touch with us. He liked what he saw, and then next minute he wanted to come to the Southern 100 last year. So they all rode from Germany. There was four of them, and they came on the Renfields, made the journey from Germany to the Isle of Man. I put them up for the week to stay with us, and what a great bunch of people. And like I say, we'd never met these people before, and they've just turned into great friends and great sponsors, and memories that they'll never forget. We got on the podium, and what a time for a sponsor to come and be part of you and help you. And they experienced the evening after, and they were just drawn in, and they just can't wait for this year's TT and Southern 100 to come and be part of us again and to stay with us and everything else. So yeah, that was a sponsor's dream holiday for them, really, to come and be part of something that was successful, and they experienced it, and I'm sure it would be something that they'll never forget for the rest of their days.
I remember interviewing one of the guys.
That's right. Yes.
You know what? That's freewheeling style.
That's right.
We're freewheeling, three-wheeling. That's a good one there, right there. So we go around and I just go run the car. Then he's a fine guy, but exactly right. He had caught the spirit here.
He did.
What I mean? He had caught
really
the spirit. But they're all see. There you go. All these sponsors, you get out there and we'll interview you, and we go live. We have a big audience. We're going live, and then we do is from the live filming. We then go ahead and then we put those, we collage them together in a nice film for each team, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But if you're there and you're a sponsor, we're going to get you. We want to hear what you have to say.
He was
right?
enthralled when you did that. When he did that and we talked after, he was made up that you'd actually taken your time out, knowing he was a sponsor of mine, and that just absolutely sealed the deal. And that's why we have him again this year on board, because it was an experience that you'd shown him. Not only we had shown him as a racing team and produced the goods and the results to back it up, but you took your time out to approach that sponsor and put him as part of that, and he was just made up with it, and hence why he's with us again this year. And we've become friends without a shadow of doubt, friends for life.
Well, you see what it is, all the enthusiasm that you have here, you two guys, and I got a bit of that too, right? And then they catch it. That's what happens.
That's
it's
right,
like they're catching it, right?
That's right.
They're catching the spirit, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and so then we're all together. We're all on a high here, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And that's why that over there is encouraging and bringing in the enthusiasm, because when they go to this sidecar school, it's encouraging of the day, and they're absolutely buzzing. Everybody that I've done it for, and they've ended up being sponsors. Even at the last time I did it last month. And it's just like, we have a little company ourselves, and it's just like, I've had such a great day on doing this with you, and it's just once in a lifetime. I've always wanted to do it, and we would like to return that and help you for this year's TT. So it's a continuous build-up of relationships and opportunities for meeting people and getting involved in motorsport, and then it turns into more than that, like the sponsorship side of things and everything else. And it's great that we take the bikes to put on show at the company, and like I say, like Andy was saying before, there's a lot more involved than just putting your name on our bike.
Yeah, well,
definitely.
There you go. Oh yeah. All right, guys. Okay, now we're at the end here. Okay. How about giving me the fingers? Plural now. Come on. All right, everybody. Okay, give the figure. Oh, there we go. Three-wheeling.
Freewheeling.
By the sport, for the sport.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Long wait, the flag now drops, steer them away. I don't know whether he's overdue or not, is he? We're just checking to see all the machines we can
Woo!